So how does this start? Well, first of all, you have to have the mussels, the kotse, and here they are. And this is not the same type of mussel that you would find at home. We get Atlantic mussels. This is the black mussel, and it is much smaller than the mussels that we get at home. When you buy mussels, you want to really be very astute in looking at them, because if you see any that are cracked, you don't want those. If you see any that are partially open, you don't want those. If you see any that feel light in your hand, you might as well realize that there's nothing in there, so you just throw them away. But all mussels have what's called a beard. You see right here? That's the beard, and you have to take that off by pulling it away. So you want to discard that, because obviously we don't want to be eating that. And then when you feel the mussel, feel it, Maria, it is very sandy. So we really have to scrub those well. And the best way to do that is with a brush, is to scrub them with a brush. So that's the first thing. So after you have them all cleaned, debearded, scrubbed well, then you can go ahead and cook them. And we're going to have you put some wine in. So why don't you put some wine in? We don't need a lot. Just pour, and I'll let you know. We're just using a dry white wine, a Chardonnay. You can use whatever kind of wine you have. And that's great. Stop. So we've got this on high heat. And in an Italian kitchen, you need to improvise. So if you don't have a cover, we're just using the top of another pot. So when those mussels open, and that's going to take about 2 minutes or so, depending on the size of them, then we are going to remove the top shell, but we're going to keep the mussel in its bottom shell. So we're going to put a thin layer of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, in the tiella, just like that. The whole point of this dish is layering, just layering. So onions in the first layer. And I'm going to make, maybe 3 or 4 layers. And we put a layer of tomatoes over the top of the onions. And here's a little trick. You want to make sure that you can put this together quickly. Slice up all your potatoes ahead of time and hold them in water, cover them in water. That will prevent those potatoes from turning brown. Then you can just drain them and use them. Let's see how we're doing here on mussels. All right, now, if we have mussels that do not open, those we have to discard. So now we're going to take this over and we're going to drain it, because we want that liquid. All right, you take that top shell off, but you leave the mussel in the bottom shell. All of these tiella in Puglia have various ingredients, but the one ingredient they must have are potatoes. Give me the mussels, and you lay them right on top. All right, keep going. So here we have flat leaf Italian parsley, the only kind of parsley that you should ever use in the kitchen. And all we want to do is chop this up like that. You want to have some cheese handy. And I don't mean any cheese. We're talking Italian cheeses today. And this is pecorino cheese, sheep's milk cheese. How you doing?
Good.
Isn't this easy?
Yes.
Okay, so now you want to grate up some pecorino cheese. Make sure you always buy it in a wedge. That way you always know you're getting the real thing. Here it is, already grated. Put some in a bowl. Are you watching this? Yes. Okay. And we take some breadcrumbs, mix that in. And because this is a large tiella, I'm using more than you're going to use in a regular recipe at home. And we're taking this parsley and just mixing that all together. I'm going to give that a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and un po' di olio di oliva extra virgine. Okay. Now, we mix this all up. Okay, you've got that one layer.
All right, no more.
Then you're going to dab a little bit of this over the mussels. So you take and you dab a little bit. It's going to give wonderful flavor. And while I'm doing this, would you please take the liquid that we cooked those mussels in, the wine, and you want to pour it right through this sieve because we want to get out any extra sand. We don't want to have that in our casserole. So you strain that out. Wonderful flavor. Okay. We give the top a little bit of sale. The oven is on at 375 degrees. This is going to feed the whole class and then some. So this is going to take, I would say, about an hour and a half.